Hello friends, what is up? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Today I wanted to share a flip through of my October pages in my A5 Hobonichi HON. So if you are new to my channel and you don't know how I use this HON, this is my memory keeper slash journal slash creative journal that I like to have fun in this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully this won't be a terribly long video. I think this page has been like the same all year long. The only thing I added was I had purchased a 2024 Moleskine Daily, the large version, and I've since cut it down, which I'm excited about. And I'm going to use it as a journal in the near future, but I had some 2024 stickers, so I just stuck them in here. Stuck one here, and then I added this Mulan sticker that I got from my daughter gave me this. She got it at her pediatrician appointment. I do not use this page for any reason. I do have this printed out here. This is from the Coffee Monsters Co. Facebook group. It was a freebie, so I just added it here to make it pretty, basically. So my tracker section, this is where I am noting what type of workout I did and also how many steps I hit in a day. So I started tracking steps in May, and then the first 2 months of the year, I made an effort to track my mood in here, and that didn't work for me. So what I've learned with this page is I fill in the grid when I work out, and I specify like what type of workout I did. So I usually like track by strength, treadmill, Stairmaster, walk outside, and yoga. So I just like having this view, and also I find it very motivating to write down how many steps I take in a day. And my goal is typically 10,000 steps a day, and I would say for the most part I do hit that step goal. The way I use my monthly pages is strictly for tracking fitness and intentional movement. So basically what I do is I'll take a Tombow. Some months I use like the brush tip, and other months I use the thinner tip. And this is where I am noting like what type of workout I did specifically, and also the duration. And then if it is something that is distance measured, I do put in the distance. I also have been using the sidebar to note certain workouts or certain lifts that I do, as far as trying to like track PRs or how much weight I'm lifting. And so currently I've been tracking. In October, I just tracked my leg press. I did do RDLs, but I didn't try to go heavy. But in like previous months, like my goal was to hit 300 pounds on RDLs, and I did that in September. And I was hoping I could continue to go up to 315, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. I don't have the best knees, especially like my right knee. I get a lot of knee pain and all that stuff. So I've been having a little bit of knee pain lately, so I don't want to chance it. So I'm almost 40, and I need to take care of my body. That's the big thing. But I don't want to put so much strain on it that I'm causing myself harm. So I like to lift heavy. It's a great stress release for me, and I like to feel strong, to be honest with you. But I also am not going to injure myself to do it. But my goal for my workouts is 3 to 4 days per week. I really struggled to be consistent with my workouts. There were a lot of like scheduling things, and also some health things that prevented me from going to the gym as regularly as I like to. Oh, and I did forget to note that this thing is a chunk, but I'll wait till the end to show you guys how like chunky it is. I'm sure you guys can see like how fat this book is. All right, so let me get to my weekly pages. So again, this book is for fun. So I do whatever I feel like doing in my weekly pages. There are no rules in this book. And that's what I love about this book, because this is a place where I can be as creative as I want to be. It doesn't have to be matchy-matchy, aesthetically pleasing. It's just whatever I want to do on that particular day or in that particular week. That's what I'm doing. So this first week in October, I had gone like on a field trip with Sophie, and I had gotten this sticker, so I stuck it in here. I am the queen of screenshot and stuff, and so So I don't just like have a bunch of screenshots in my phone. A lot of times I'll upload them and to Canva and resize them and print them out and stick them in here. This is also a great landing page for photos that may not fit in my like daily journaling spreads that I like to, include. Like this particular weekend, my daughter had soccer. She took a picture. My husband coached her soccer team, and then we attended a wedding. So we had some cute little selfies before the ceremony that I wanted to include. Here's another one. Again, it's a pretty basic and simple spread. My dad visited Sophie at her school for Grandparents' Day, and he sent me this picture. It was really cute. I got so tickled by this one that says, remember, friend, a $4 ice latte day is $20 a week, $80 a month, and $960 a year. After 10 years, that's $9,600, which is still not enough for a down payment on a house. So enjoy your espresso in peace. I sent that to my husband, and he was like, is that your excuse to like go to Dunkin' every day? I was like, pretty much. These were some slides that I had taken pictures of at like a conference I attended that I thought was fascinating. So again, I uploaded these photos into Canva, resized them, and printed them out. I found this term to be very interesting. It was lawnmower parents. I feel like we've all heard like the terminology like helicopter parent, but lawnmower parent was a new one for me, and I found it to be an interesting concept. So lawnmower parents constantly clear all obstacles from their children's paths, so they never have to deal with problems for themselves. And I thought that was fascinating. And then my friend whose wedding we attended, her photographer had snapped this photo of Malaya and I. We were dancing, and I was teaching, I'm trying to remember if I was teaching Malaya the wobble or if she was doing the Crank That Soldier Boy song. But I love that picture. It's so cute. So this week I decided to go back to just filling in what happened each day. I was like wanting like just some bright colors and things that made me happy. I thought this was hilarious to put on payday with Debo. It says I get paid tomorrow. Bills, no, I get paid tomorrow, and there's Debo. I thought that was hilarious. I made these in Canva. A lot of these stickers are happy planner stickers, and I just kind of like micro journaled like the main points of that day, which was fun. Here was another week. This was a lot. I think all of these stickers here were from a sticker book that I got at Walmart on clearance. And again, just kind of wrote some stuff. I think that was like this day was when the high school football team that Malaya cheers for won their game. And so like we were playoff bound. Sophie scored a goal at soccer. I listed all the stuff I got done that day. The little hedgehog was so cute. But yeah, just kind of like noting like things that happened. Like I put this sticker down like it's fall, y'all, because the week before we had cool mornings, and then I was like, just kidding, it's hot AF outside. And then this was like the last week in October. Sophie picked the color pens. She thought the purple and orange would look good together. So I did like an every other day spread. And again, this is from that sticker book from Walmart. Again, just wrote in like the highlights of the day. I'm very anxious about the election. So I think keeping my hands busy has been helping, and, wrote my thoughts and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's been a fun time writing in my weekly spread. So again, I don't have to have cohesiveness, and I think that's like the fun part of it. So that's what I like doing. Okay. But I do want to say something that I realized this month, and I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out. And I don't know that I've tried it before, but I know like in like the traditional Hobonichi cousins, like you can fold the cousin over on its side, and it makes it a little bit easier because it was getting difficult to write on this left-hand side because of the thickness, right? It's so thick, the bump in it. So I figured out, y'all, you can put the Hobonichi HON on its side. And I didn't know that. So you can flip it over on its side. And the spine does fine with it. So, you can't beat a Hobonichi spine. And I wish I had known that, because I probably would have went with another HON for next year. But, it is what it is, right? So let's go through October. October was a good month as far as like me staying in the practice of journaling. I was a lot more intentional with ensuring that I didn't get super behind on writing. In September, I did not journal as much, and I felt like I was doing so much stuff retroactively. So I wanted to continue the practice of just sitting down for 10 minutes every night and journaling. One thing that was helpful for me was like I pre-decorated pages ahead of time for like 2 days at a time, and that was very helpful. So this one was a Tuesday, and this was the day, oh my gosh, I left my lunchbox in my car and ants got in it. I don't know how that happened. And I was like running late to a meeting, so I had to like hit up McDonald's and get a Happy Meal. So that was fun. That was when I talked to my mom, and she was telling me she had taken my dad to the emergency room that Saturday before because he had like a spider bite on his leg and it got infected. It was pretty bad. This Wednesday was a very busy day. Yeah, I feel like most days at work are really busy, and I was kind of upset about a situation that I had gotten a phone call about on Tuesday, and I was still kind of annoyed about it. I had gone to the gym that day, but I skipped cardio. Some days I don't feel like doing cardio. For me, it's important that I move. And usually my daughter has practice. So, that was the day I ran into that dude, Matt, that he was a respiratory therapist, and I worked at a hospital, and we chatted for a while. Because I hadn't seen him in a while. And then this was also the day we went by my parents' house and visited them. And my mom was telling Sophie she's getting her a baby goat for Christmas. Y'all, we don't mind. We love goats. We love animals. Like, I swear, what's one more animal, right? And Sophie was so overwhelmed with emotion that she like cried, and it was just like, oh, my heart. It was so sweet. And then I also got some news about my cousin. He had some biopsies done, and they came back negative. And then I also noted, because I like to listen to the Crime Weekly podcast, that Stephanie Harlow had posted a thing that said her husband that she was like estranged from, they were going through a divorce, had died unexpectedly, and they were taking a break. So that's very sad. This was the day I took this day off work because I went on a field trip with Sophie. We had a really good time, and she hung out with her bestie. And after the field trip, we went to McDonald's. And then Sophie had soccer that night, so Jesse took her, and Malaya had a pep rally. And they had to wear these white cowboy boots because they were supposed to do a thunderstruck dance at the pep rally, but they didn't do it. So I was like, why are y'all wearing the boots then? So still didn't understand that, but they were cute. This was a fun day. This was the pink out day. I worked. Jesse got sick. He was running fever. And the week before, Sophie had strep. So he was kind of having some issues too. So he got treated. He's tested negative, but he got treated for strep. It was pink out day. So Malaya was like looking cute in her outfit. And we traveled to a football game, and it was pretty brutal. We got beat so bad, but we were tickled because the student section for the other team, I don't know how it is other places, but like where we live in Alabama, like high school football is, the kids like that drive, like they take like big huge sheets and like fly them like flags on the back of their big old trucks. And apparently the other school, somebody had come to our school and stolen a flag off somebody's vehicle, and they were like holding it up during the game. Because apparently we were rivals. I didn't know that either. I thought it was pretty funny. Some people did not find it funny, but I was like, antics, right? Sophie had soccer on this day, and her shin guard broke. Her and this boy were getting like really physical with each other while they were playing. Like, he was pushing her and she was pushing him back. Like, Sophie is not the one. She is my child through and through. She is not the one. And they fell and her shin guard broke. So the coach on the other team let her borrow some shin guards, and I was glad of that. And then that evening we went to my friend's wedding. She got married. It was really pretty. Sundays are always chores, and laundry. And I do some filming too. I think that day I filmed a plan with me, and then I did like a pen test in my 2025 Hobonichis that I had, because I had been seeing some videos and some remarks about people, that the Tomoe River paper was not performing well in some planners. I didn't have any issues, so I was thankful for that. I don't know if I ever told this story, but that Sunday night, it was about like 8 o'clock. There was a county sheriff. Like, he stopped like in the road, like in front of our house. like right at our driveway. And it was like 8 o'clock at night. I don't know if I just said that. And I was like, Jesse, what's he doing? Because he had his like spotlight or his floodlights on. And so Jesse went outside and he was asking Jesse like if we had a black cat. And we were like, there's like a neighborhood cat that's black. And he was like, well, it's out here fighting a rattlesnake, but it killed it. The cat's fine. And I was like, what? So the Xox is the cat's name. She's not our cat. She roams the neighborhood. And I think everyone just feeds her. But apparently a rattlesnake was coming on into our yard and she handled business. So I've made her some food. And I was like, thanks, Socks. Here's another journaling spread. I don't really know. I will say that I am surprised how much I liked this orange fountain pen ink. This is that Pilot Oroshizuku. I don't know what it's called, but it's really pretty. Oh yeah, I was at the gym and it was opening day of the NHL, and Jessica Campbell, she's like debuted as the first lady coach in the NHL, and I was like, what a boss. Like, she was so badass. It was really cool. The pen test video that I did went live that day and it was pretty well received. And I think that's about it. I think I got caught up in spending, soccer practice. I was like, dude, I'm so behind in my journal. I really need to get caught up. I also need to improve on my nighttime routine and stop filling out my journal retroactively. Maybe I should pre-decorate some pages to reduce stress. So I started doing that on the 8th. And I always feel like Tuesday's kind of a crazy day. Yeah, this spread turned out really pretty. This was a hard day. We had a grief crisis situation that we had to help out in a school district. They got hit multiple times in the like a calendar year with unexpected deaths. And those are hard. Those kids, you know, and it's just, when they're older, they want to just be with their friends, you know, and you want to be there as a person that they can talk to if they need to, or just offer support, you know, and those are really hard days emotionally. So I got home later than usual because it was like on the other side of the county. It's the same like school district, but other side of the county. So we all kind of like helped with that. We cleared our schedules. Our team did for that day to help with that. Yeah, and I spent that evening like kind of journaling and just relaxing because my social and emotional battery was drained. This day I went to Birmingham for the annual Fall Social Work Conference. That is my favorite conference to go to every year. I like going because I get to see old interns, like interns that shadowed me or were with me, and to see like what they're doing. So I love it. I've been practicing social work since 2008. So I've had a lot of interns in my day. So it's always awesome to see them. It's also awesome to see like former like coworkers and, you know, former supervisors and bosses and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed it. This Friday, it was day 2 of the conference, but it was like only a half day. So like I went to my sessions, and then I was right down the road from Trader Joe's. So I hit up Trader Joe's. My dad checked Malaya out of school. And then they went, like, my parents spoil my kids, and they took Malaya shopping and Taco Bell. And then my mom's car, okay, so in September, they hit a deer. So she has a Terrain, and that was in the body shop. And then, so their extra car is the Nissan, and it was not working. So they needed a vehicle. My mom still works, and my dad is retired, and I just was like, they need a vehicle. They each need a vehicle just in case something happens or whatever. So Jesse, they got Jesse's car and drove it, and then he drove the SRX. Oh my gosh, RSX, the Acura. And then we went to Demopolis for a football game. They beat the brakes off of us. It was pretty brutal. That's all I can say. This Saturday, oh my God, I woke up with a migraine that day. It was awful. I think I was like super nauseated. And then Sophie had a soccer game, so I made it. This was the day that Jesse like screamed at the ref. And Jesse is like calm. He is a cool, calm, and collected guy. But these two boys, like Sophie's in the middle, they like sandwiched her because she was dribbling the ball, and one of them elbowed her in the side. And like it hurt her, you know, she's hurt, like she's okay. But like it, you know, I think if that happened to any kid on Jesse's team, he would have been pissed off. So he yelled at the ref about it, and then Sophie was upset, and she said that boy keeps pushing me, and I was like, push him back. So she showed out. That's all I'm gonna say. In that game, she showed out. But they did lose, which, I hated that for them. That was their only loss this season. But they didn't really keep record because it's rec soccer. She's not in competitive until I think she's like 11 or 12. And then I took her to Duncan. We started doing like this after soccer game, like celebratory Duncan. And then we went to Publix, and I run to Publix for weekend essentials. Publix is expensive AF. Amen. And I guess like I was very like cranky that day. So yeah, I also kind of talked about like the Tennessee Florida game and it going into overtime. And then I fell asleep watching Colorado and Kansas State. I love college football. I don't know if y'all know that. It's probably one of my favorite sports to watch. And then, I put hopefully I'm in a better mood tomorrow. Sundays are always busy. I slept almost 9 hours the night before and it was awesome. I chilled that morning, did a grocery order, picked it up. I'm pretty boring. Like, I live my life, I did like some filming. Jesse and Sophie drove my van because my parents still have the CRV to pick up groceries. And I took Malaya in the RSX to the tumbling lessons. And that RSX, it has it's a Type S, has VTEC in it, and it's so fun to drive. It's a 6-speed. So we did that, and then I did like my typical like Sunday routine. This was like fall break, so it's on like Indigenous Peoples Day, but they always label it fall break because the kids usually get Monday and Tuesday, but Tuesday's like a work day for us who work in the schools. I slept in, and then I took my car to this guy we know who fixed my brakes, and it was such a good deal. And while we were waiting on them to do the cards, I always have like games in my car because, I go like to 6 schools and do therapy. So I had like Jenga and Uno and this fun emoji matching game. And so we just sat in like the waiting room and played games. And then we ended up walking to the gas station because Sophie was thirsty and hungry. I did go to the gym that day. Malaya went with me. I made Zipa Toscana soup. This was a weird situation where Maggie, she just looked at me and then peed on the floor. That was so out of character for her. So my Maggie's getting old. She's getting old. She's having a hard time getting around. She's an old lady. And so, it was just, bless her. I felt bad for her because she's never, maybe when we first, because we adopted her from an animal shelter in 2019. And I think we may have had a few accidents when she first came to live with us. But other than that, she was very easy to potty train because she was an adult dog when we got her, obviously, because she's an old lady. But it was just out of character for her. Malaya made me a TikTok that day, and we did the Pamela Pumpkin workout to catch Jessie off guard, and it was really funny. So I have a TikTok. I don't post on it, but I have one. Malaya had been trying forever to do it. And at some point in this month, I went back on Instagram, but I don't remember. The girls were out of school this day. I worked and got caught up on a lot of administrative things, documentation. I talked to my dad. He was really frustrated and annoyed because they still had Jessie's Rogue because the body shop kept delaying stuff. So he was not happy. I did a Dunkin' run on this Wednesday. The Dunkin' Donuts, they just opened one right by one of my schools. And so I go there in my break sometimes. This was a happy day. I got my through the Purple Night Hobonichi Weeks that my husband gave me, and I filmed an unboxing. He found it. He was so sweet. So, and I was pretty busy that day. Got in a workout, all that good stuff. This was cute. Sweater weather. I think I wore a cardigan that day and was super excited. I don't really think a whole lot of stuff happened on this day. This was when I reached out about starting some clinical consultation with a former supervisor of mine who's in private practice. And so we were I was working on getting that done. I'm investing in myself and my career. This was the day we went to Montevallo, and I didn't get to go. I wanted to, because I attended the University of Montevallo for my undergrad, and I wanted to be able to show it to my girls. I don't think Sophie's ever been there. Malaya went when she was younger, but we didn't have time. So, but we had fun at the game. This was my dad's birthday, and y'all, this was my friend Tiff's birthday. It's forever ingrained in my brain, Tiff, if you're watching. This was my dad's birthday. Sophie had a soccer game, and then he was at the game, and then afterwards, like, we took him out to lunch, and we did Camp Fear. That Malaya and that boy broke up, so we're going to talk about that. They broke up like the next week, but we had fun. It was a good time. Another busy Sunday. I made taco soup, all that good stuff. I was feeling very overwhelmed, and when I feel overwhelmed, like, my mood plummets, and I get frustrated very easily. Sweater weather. I made all these, by the way. You can make stickers in Canva without a cutting machine. I just cut them out myself. Busy back at work. I was running that whole day. Finished cutting out my stickers. Husband and I have been watching the Menendez brothers documentary, and we finished it. Oh, that was an ace day. One of the girls, like, got kicked in the chest or something. I can't remember if it was a flyer or a base, and she ended up having a concussion. Poor thing. Yeah, and I was exhausted. Like, I ran that whole day, and I feel like I can't remember what day I went back on Instagram, but I went back on Instagram in October. This was a busy day. The girls got their report cards. Work was work. Da-da-da-da. I don't think there was anything else. Oh, this was the day I went to Walmart, and I was like, oh my gosh, they have moleskins now. So, I don't know. And then the pen and gear section. Fancy, y'all. This was, oh my gosh, this day, I was so upset this day. Like, if you read what it says. I don't know. I don't really read people's journal entries. I don't know if y'all read mine, but read at your own risk, because colorful language. And I tone it down for YouTube, in case y'all were wondering. But this was the day I was in session, and I discovered that my diamond was no longer in my engagement ring. And I had to keep my stuff together until I finished session and the student left my office. So I was upset. I was very upset. I took a half day because I had to get, like, my teeth numbed to do some type of, like, deep cleaning and all that good stuff. So I just went home, relaxed. I played on IG, da-da-da, and I just called it a day. Sophie read me this book. It was so cute. The Smart Cookie. So cute. I was in a funk. And I was like, I'm just trying to get out of this funk. And I skipped the gym. This was Sophie's final fall festival in elementary. This was the last home game of the year, which was also senior night, and a bunch of the family came. They do a thing in the student section called Fourth Quarter Frenzy, where they always, like, they either, like, do toilet paper, or they do this, like, I don't know what this stuff is called. It's almost like silly string, but not. And we were, like, piling it on Jesse. It was funny. But yeah, that was when the high school won, so playoff bound. It was a long game. And then Malaya went with her friends afterwards to Waffle House. This Saturday was so funny. I had a freak out moment. I woke up and I was like, oh my God, Jesse, it's 6:41. You got to get up. Because Jesse has to be at work at 6 in the morning. But, like, it was Saturday. And I don't know, have y'all ever done that? And I was like, oh wait, it's Saturday. And I went back to sleep. It was really funny because I just felt like we had overslept. And Sophie had a soccer game. My mom was off work that day. So my mom works. Her weekends are usually Thursday, Friday, but she was on vacation. And so she made it to Sophie's soccer game, and she brought donuts, and she was so excited to see Lula. And then they won, and the rest of it was a chill day. I watched football, Roll Tide. This was when Malaya and her little boyfriend broke up, and she was sad. Being a teenage girl is hard. This was a Sunday. Sundays are, just busy. Malaya was feeling better. Like, I had told her Saturday, I was like, you cry today and then move on tomorrow. And she was like, okay. She's 14. And I was noting, like, because I wanted to do Thanksgiving just the 4 of us this year. I don't want to be around a bunch of family. And it's just because, like, we haven't had chill time or, quiet time. So that's what the plan is. So I was, like, kind of thinking to myself, like, we need to get some, like, board games and stuff to play. My parents made it to Panama, And I also prepped some stationery goodies to send to a planner friend. I looked today and I got a raise, so I was happy about that. And then Jesse and I had watched Sweet Bobby on Netflix, and y'all, that was crazy. Highly recommend if you like stuff like that. It's like a catfishing thing. This Monday we went to the Dollar. I keep saying the Dollar General. We went to Dollar General and I picked up these 2 pens. I really liked them for $1. I signed my clinical supervision contract with, and I'm trying to decide if I want to buy plotter inserts for next year. The thought of printing and cutting inserts is just yuck. Because I think I had noted in like a previous plan with me that like I don't like that QR code. It's so ugly and it takes up space on the insert. So yeah. I took a sick day on this day. I had a really bad migraine. Usually I try to push through my migraines, but couldn't that day. And it took a long time for meds to work. So I laid around and just rested. Sophie had her costume soccer game. She wore her costume there, but didn't play in her costume. She's really excited because her teacher came to her game. That was like the one game I missed this whole season. And Malaya had to work a trunk or treat, so I was her ride. I survived that Wednesday. Oh, busy. Talked to my mom about some plans we had for after Christmas, because we're going to go to Panama City for New Year's. And we've been watching the American Gladiators series, and then this was Halloween. I dressed like an old lady, BBL Drizzy, right there. I stuffed pillows into my leggings. It was funny. And I saw my friend in the neighborhood. We were trick-or-treating, and I started twerking in the street. And it was funny. Malaya, I sent her pictures, and she was like, stop. Malaya is too cold to hang out with her parents on Halloween, so sorry, that was loud. So she hangs out with her friends, and they all dress like astronauts, but like cutesy-wootsy astronauts. Jesse dressed as Ghostface and all that stuff. So it's fun, but it did rain. It poured down rain, so we had to cut trick-or-treating short. Good times. Good times. And that is all of October. That was long, y'all. And then here is my reading goal. I don't keep a log because I use Goodreads, just to track like what I'm reading. But I do like to know how many books I've read, because my goal was 150 this year and I have surpassed it. So go me. And yeah, that's it. And I guess I will show y'all the chunkiness of this bad boy. She's thick. She's thick. But I love this book. It's awesome. We got, 2 more months left in here, and we'll call it a year, and I'll be in the Avec for 2025. But I love it. It's so fun to have this. But yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer those. I'll see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye, friends.